I don't know what in the hell happened in that call, that roughing the kicker call the other night, but I'd like to get some expert opinion on it. Buffalo Bills' Mark Kelso standing by on the line right now. Mark, good morning.
Morning, guys. How's everybody today?
Good.
Sounds like you had a good meal last night, so everything's good, right?
I'm feeling like I ate very well last night. I'm not
sure but did you have a good breakfast?
That's very important. That's that's the leftover filet. That's what I had for breakfast.
Okay, there you go.
All right, listen. What are your thoughts on this this no call here?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a call that the officials need to make, but there's some subjectivity to it because they have to deem it a situation where it's reasonable that it should have been called, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. In my mind, and I know Richard Sherman's saying that he went for the ball. He actually touched the ball probably before Dan Carpenter did, but in fact he was past the wingback before the ball was even snapped. So he knew darn well that he was offsides completely. And,
Yep.
And in that situation, in my mind, it's a flagrant situation. He should have been flagged in that situation. And there's been a lot made about the officials got that wrong, and then the whole play clock situation. And they need to get it right. I mean, I'm not one for having full-time officials per se, but what I need to say is that what I'd like to say is that they need to get it right. And if they have somebody who's up in the booth somewhere, I mean, they do all kinds of other things from the booth with the medical team that's filming plays and determining if somebody had maybe a concussive event and removing them from the field of play or the reviewing plays. I mean, they need somebody who's removed from the immediate emotion of the game that can say, "Hey, you didn't reset the play clock, and let's get that reset." I mean, when you're doing a broadcast, you got people in your head sometimes saying, "Hey, we're going to throw it down the sail on the sideline." So there's no reason why they couldn't say, "Hey, you need to reset the play clock. You didn't do that on that play." So that was, in my mind, that was a little bit more egregious because that caused some problems and obviously took 3 points off the board. But I did think it should have been flagged.
I got to tell you, and Rex Ryan, I'm surprised he survived through that. I mean, he was obviously and well deserved. He was livid. All right, listen, Mark. The Bills have lost their last three. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, well, they showed something the other night, though. I'm telling you, the game was wildly entertaining. Mm-hmm. I still think they have some issues on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes it just seems like they try to do too much in the secondary, and they either combo covered the wrong guy or there were two great catches. I mean, Jimmy Graham made two catches that I don't know if he's made those kind of catches in 2 in one game in his entire career, but I mean, Robert Plant had him covered on one play and had him covered really well, although it drew a flag because he had his arm pinned down. Then he makes that catch, and then the other one, he had one defensive back and one linebacker that were covering him, able to make that. So really good plays on their part offensively, but it was a tremendously entertaining game. And the Bills' offense against arguably the best defense in the league, and I think it is when they have all their 11 starters. They were missing two of their key guys, but still have quality personnel at those positions, and just played their best game of the year offensively against a team that is a top defensive club. So there's promise going forward, but they're not going to be able to drop very many more games. I mean, probably no more than one if they want any opportunity to make the postseason.
They're off this weekend. What are they gonna? What's Rex Ryan going to be working on this off week?
He's going to work on some relaxation and then get his voice back from all the screaming he did at the officials the other night. But I mean, you need a break. You really do. I mean, you need to unplug mentally a little bit. And I'm sure I don't know what's gone on over there this week, but I'm sure they've practiced a couple days, or they will have, or they will. And I don't know what day that they actually have off, and they'll probably be required to be back Sunday night at some point so that they can practice Monday morning, I would suspect. But you need to unplug mentally. I mean, it's a drain. The season is a drain, and if you're doing the things you need to do off the field, in the film room and in the weight room and all those things. I mean, it's not just going out there and practicing for an hour and a half, 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, many hours they practice.
Yeah.
But it's all the mental preparation and all the things you need to do in the training room, all the stuff you do in the film room, and then going through schematic or whatever defensive or offensive scheme you're going to employ that week. So I mean, there's a lot going on. There's no question, and it's really important that you have an opportunity to unplug at least for a couple of days. A lot of guys live here and but don't have family here at all, so they head back home, whether they're single or married. They head back home towards their family and have an opportunity to spend some time with those people as well. So hopefully that'll help them unplug and refresh them a little bit for the upcoming opponent in Cincinnati, who is a very good team and really difficult to play in their own building.
That, by the way, is a week from Sunday on November 20th. So, all right, listen, we're still there. Mark Kelso, we appreciate it. Great having you on the radio. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Mark Kelso, Buffalo Bills.
And I'll tell you, he says they can only lose one more game the rest of the way if they want a chance to make the playoffs. This is not a difficult schedule they have left. They've got Cincinnati. That's arguably the toughest one they got. They play the Jags. They play the Raiders. The Steelers are always a good team, but they're like 500 this year.
I wouldn't say that about the Raiders. The Raiders
are an upstart.
Browns,
Dolphins, Jets. Those are winnable. The Bills could do that.
And the one thing about this Bills team right now is it's inconsistent. There's inconsistency. If they can get into the talent is there, and if this team could just gel, anything could happen. I said that about the Mets in September. They were still going to win the division. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?